Hey everyone, this is Hyperion here. I'm going to be demonstrating to you today the Exploding Palm 0 DPS Monk. I'll be running a monk today. I'm also, in the video, also is Mikey Mads on Twitch or in-game, or also Mordecai Mike on YouTube, and I will give you a link to his profile below. Usually he runs a witch doctor, and he's got some great tutorials on his YouTube channel about the witch doctor and just some other information there. You should check it out. Anyways, I should also say this is my very first video, and so the quality isn't as good as I'd like, and also I don't have a gaming rig, so to say. I actually play on a MacBook Pro with Boot Camp on it, so the quality isn't going to be very good either. I just can't run too much on here. It's not specifically set up for gaming. Anyways, so I know that with Reaper of Souls coming out, they're nerfing the Exploding Palm 0 DPS build. Sorry, not with Reaper of Souls, with the new patch coming out, the patch 2.1. They're going to be nerfing the Exploding Palm 0 DPS build, but I figured it'd just be something fun to show people. We're running in Torment 6 today. I'm guessing the patch probably won't come out for another 2 months at least. It might be a little bit more than that or a little bit less. But I think it'll be a little while, so if you wanted, you could easily throw one of these together in just a couple of hours, and it'd be very effective. Anyways, if you don't know about the actual mechanics of the Exploding Palm, the way it works is the explosion of an enemy that has the Exploding Palm on it deals 50% of the enemy's health to all enemies around it. So on my monk, when I throw the palm up on an enemy, as soon as it's killed, it explodes, and 50% of its health is dealt to the enemies surrounding it. And I'm actually using a weapon specialized for the monk called the Fist of Aztrask. It's a fist weapon, and it actually increases that end explosion to anywhere from 75 to 100% of the enemy's health in the explosion. The particular one that I have increases it by 94%, which pretty much means that in any given group, if I can get an Exploding Palm up and that one enemy's killed, pretty much the entire group dies. If I can, though, I like to get as many of those Exploding Palms up as I can. It just increases the explosion, and also it'll make it so that the characters that are doing most of the damage in order to kill that initial enemy, so that they don't have to necessarily focus on killing one in particular. Just as soon as anything in the pack dies, the whole pack goes up. You can also see that it works fantastic on elite packs. If I can throw the explosion up on the elite minions, as soon as one of those minions die, the entire pack goes up. And that's incredibly useful in Torment 6, where some of the elite packs can be pretty nasty. So the faster you can get those killed, the better it is for everybody. As you can see there, half the team wiped. There's a wizard and a demon hunter in here, and as of right now, as you probably know if you've played the game much, the dexterity classes have a real problem, because in the Reaper of Souls, the dexterity is kind of a flawed defense mechanic, and they're going to be changing that in the patch 2.1 coming up here. So anyways, the demon hunters are very squishy right now, but if they can watch out and if they're playing right, they can be a very, very powerful class. They can do a lot of damage, a lot of AoE damage, and also single target there. Pretty fantastic. My friend Mikey right now, he's running a Wand of Woe wizard, and they're pretty good. He just started it the other day though, so he's a little bit squishier than he'd like, but he still does some pretty good damage. I think he was saying that his explosive blast there was critting like from like around 35 to 40 million per blast, which is pretty good AoE damage. Um, anyways, back to the monk here. Pretty much the way it works, if you haven't been in a group with an exploding palm monk before, the monk is generally the party leader, and it helps to give, if the monk doesn't actually have the crowning game, it helps to give the monk the crown, because that way all the players can see where the monk is and try to follow it. So the monk usually leads the way, and what I try to do is I try and stay ahead of the party as much as I can, and I'll get to a group, get it grouped up with the Cyclone Strike, throw up some of the exploding palms on them, and that way when the damage arrives, they can just kill it and move on, and it's really fast. If I lead the way, then people won't have to wait around, and it goes generally pretty smooth that way. And so, like I said, it's good if the monk's the party leader. And you also really have to keep in mind, if you're running with an exploding palm monk, or if you are an exploding palm monk, the actual monk itself does not do any damage. Like, I think that my sheet DPS on this character is around 70,000, which for Reaper of Souls is pretty abysmal. So you've got to keep in mind that you can't actually kill anything on your own. So you want to make sure that your group is staying with you, because if they're not paying attention, or you're not paying attention, you can get surrounded, and you can't do anything about killing them. So you just pretty much will die if you can't get out of there fast enough, because you can't tank and kill things. There's a lot of controversy out there, and a lot of monks don't actually like the idea of the ZDPS exploding palm monk. They say that it's not a real monk, and just don't like the fact that they say it's, pretty much, they consider it as just the I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this, just as the party slave, more or less. They don't they don't think of it as actually a really viable monk build. But I'm of a different opinion. If you actually look at the numbers of how things work, like the actual damage numbers, the exploding palm monk is doing more damage in the group than any of the DPS characters. They just pretty much, the DPS characters just kill at pretty much one enemy in the group, and the exploding palm does the rest. So the monk is doing more damage here than any of the other DPS classes. So I don't share the general viewpoint of this not being a viable build. It's actually, right now, I know some people probably hate me for this, it's actually pretty much the only viable, and when I say viable, I mean that'll fit into a good Torment 6 group. Pretty much the only viable Torment 6 monk build out there. I know that some people are able to run a DPS monk, but it's just really not effective, and especially if you're running in a rifting community where you've got people that are really well geared up and are trying to get like 4 to 5 minute Torment 6 rifts in, then pretty much the only safe way to play it is a 0 DPS exploding palm monk. Also, another fun thing here, this monk that I'm actually using a furnace mace on it for the rift bosses. If you don't know what a furnace is, it has a chance to deal 8% of the monster's health, current health, as fire damage to it. Which means that if you're watching the health bar of that monster there, it's just getting chunked away. That's actually the monk with the furnace in there. that furnace will absolutely decimate the rift bosses, or bosses with a high HP, which is, it's a great tool or crutch. It actually lets the monk be useful in the end battle. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, forgive the quality, and I hope to be sending some more videos out to you guys soon. If you have any questions, please share them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them.